Hello and welcome to a rather special solo episode of the Rebecca Saunders Show. This isn't my usual background for those of you watching me on video today. I am currently in New York City. I have decided to push myself out of my comfort zone once again and spend a week in New York City solo. Now, for those of you that have watched my Instagram, follow me online, you'll know that I love to travel and do adventure. But what you might not know is that I'm good at doing that when things are planned and I'm traveling either with someone or by myself to do something. So it could be going on a business retreat. It could be going on a holiday with my husband. It could be going on a holiday with friends. The thing is, I can go places and meet people and all is right with my world. Like, I could be put anywhere. As long as I'm with people, everything's going to be great. And I'm on this trip at the moment. I've just spent a week in Hawaii with one of my mentors, Tina Tower, who ran a business retreat for 8 women. It was absolutely phenomenal. Fancy house overlooking the ocean in Hawaii for 5 days. And big picture thinking, deep conversations, soaking up the sunshine, soaking up the energy, just getting really grounded and spending time with like-minded business owners, right? Amazing. Loved it. And next week, I have the fortune of going to Mallorca in Spain and being part of Nikki Wilkes' business retreat. She runs Seriously Stylish Business. That's really hard to say. Seriously Stylish Business based out of the UK. And I met Nikki in Necker Island, back in May. And I'm on her retreat next week. And then I head to the UK for 2 weeks, catching up with a couple of UK clients, long overdue catch up with a lot of friends that I haven't seen in what feels like years, thanks to COVID. It has been years. And celebrating my mum's 60th birthday. Yes, if you've done the maths, I'm still a baby. And so I've bridged the gap between Hawaii and going to Europe with a week in New York. I chose New York because it's a place where a number of other women that I met on Necker Island are local to. And I decided that I've been there a few times before. I absolutely love the vibe of the city. Let's do it. And it takes every ounce of my inner strength and all the work I've done to not be freaking out right now, right? It's one of those things that I'm good when I'm around people, but it really, really scares me. Scares me to push me out of my comfort zone that much when I am in a place that is brand new, by myself, doing something different. It scares me. It freaks me out. And I'm used to riding the roller coaster of life. So I chose New York for those reasons, that there was going to be 3 or 4 people that I could meet. Coffee, lunch, glass of wine, any of the above. I've booked myself on a couple of foodie tours, which has been great at meeting people, seeing the area, having the ability to be shown around the city rather than walk aimlessly. That's one of my other things I don't like doing. I can't just go for a walk for the sake of a walk. There has to be a purpose to it, or a I was going to say map then, but that's wrong. There's got to be like a route that we've got to take. There's got to be a plan to the walk. Like, I'm very plan orientated. So doing things spontaneously, whilst it may look like I live my life in that way, most of it is very well planned. I say yes to things very easily when it feels right. I'm all about gut feel and it feeling right. And so I'm really pushing myself out of my comfort zone for this particular week. I'm having a lot of fun. It's being really great. And this particular week, I've also chosen to do something equally as nerve-wracking for myself, which is to add a different string to my business bow and launch something very, very different. And I'm not talking launching a program to teach people how to make video. I'm not talking about launching another studio space in New York City. Like, that's not going to happen. I am listening to what every bone and energy in my body is telling me to do. And that is help other video business owners become successful in their video business. Help videographers that are super, super creative but don't have much of a business acumen, and help them transform their lives and their businesses the way that I have transformed mine. And yes, the video production business that I have built lovingly and grown over the last decade to operate in 4 different countries around the world is still alive and thriving, and I love it. And the fact that I can run it from New York City right now, and it's still operating, and the team are amazing, and my clients are loving our projects, is testament to the fact that I have built a business that runs on systems, not systems that say, oh, you're talking to a robot, but systems that enable the team behind the scenes to run and produce content seamlessly. I'm not talking cookie cutter content. I'm talking the ability to have email templates that we tweak, pricing packages that are super easy for our clients to understand, emails and processes that enable us to create and send briefing documents, call sheets, reviews, manage all the projects internally. All of the things that I have put in place, because I love myself a good system and some good automations, all of the things that I've put in place, I'm packaging up, and I am giving it as part of my program to fellow videographers. Now, when I started this idea, I've been contemplating it for a number of years. And I know through those conversations that it's needed, it's wanted, and I'm super excited to see it go live. And when I shared it with my husband, that what I wanted to do, he said to me, why would you want to give your competitors your secret sauce? And I said to him, because there's enough work to go around, and I'm happy to share, and I want to see other people thrive. For me, I know that my video production business will keep growing and going. I know that there is plenty of work around there. I work in a very collaborative way, have a very collaborative mindset, and I'm very clear on the projects that I take on and the projects that I refer on. So I know that in giving my competitors my toolkit does share the competitive advantage, I'm not going to lie, but in doing so will enable me personally to have a much bigger impact on the world as a whole, because I'll be able to give that guidance and give that knowledge to individuals that are going to go and take that further and further afield. And the ripple effect moving forward will be phenomenal. For me, working in the creative industry, seeing productions come through my studio space week after week, seeing where the cracks are and how they can be rectified, or not even rectified, prevented so easily with just small systems and just a better understanding of the business side of things, like that's what's going to have the most impact. Enabling videographers to know how much they need to survive and thrive, and then plan for their financial future. That's cool. That's an awesome thing. I don't want to see videographers come in and overhear things like, oh shit, I better invoice today because I'm running out of cash. I'm going to send all my invoices at once. Like, no client wants to receive 3 months worth of invoices in one go just because you didn't have a process in place to invoice them in a timely manner. You know, it's that whole hand-to-mouth mentality which drives me bonkers, but also things that I don't understand. And I think it's because I am so business orientated in my mindset. It's about the business outcome for me and my clients. It's a business outcome. The video for me is secondary, that I can see why videographers, being pure creatives at their core, can really tie themselves in knots. And so I want to untangle those knots. Like, that's the next calling for me. I have, as I said, been thinking about it for a long time. I know that it's needed. I know that I can have a huge impact on the videographers that I work with, that come through the studio, that are across Australia, that are across the globe. And the fact that I can run my business, record this podcast, launch the program from wherever I am in the world, that's pretty awesome. I look back at this past year, and if I look at the past year, I have got married, gone to Fiji on my honeymoon, had the privilege of meeting Sir Richard Branson and a number of incredible women who have formed phenomenal friendships and business relationships with on Necker Island. I have traveled and trekked the Larapinta with another group of incredible women. We have collectively, my husband and I, we have purchased our dream home in the country in regional New South Wales. We've brought in a little puppy into our world, both of which I'm missing very much traveling the world right now. So we've done all of that in such a short period of time. We're only in September. So in the space of 9 months, I've done all of that and packed in a trip to Hawaii, New York, Mallorca in the UK. And all of that, throughout all of that, and me doing all of those things, we have consistently, as a team, produced and delivered incredible videos for our clients. And we have filmed and edited hundreds of videos, all looking extremely different. No cookie cutter content. We've helped them film in all areas of Australia, all states of Australia. We've filmed in multiple different countries. And you know what? That kind of stuff does light me up. It brings me so much joy that the business that I've created enables me to live the life that I live today. And the business that I've created enables my team to live the lives that they're living now. And, it enables my clients to live the lives that they want to live when they're creating their online programs and they're recording their courses, and they can go out and share that with an even wider world. I love that everyone can just take that little bit, have that impact, and really just make a huge difference to the way that they're living life and showing up in the world and running their business and planning for their future. And if anything about COVID for me has flagged anything at all, it's very much around when things do stop, if and when they stop again. We don't know. Will you have the buffer in there to be able to carry through another version of what we've just been through in the last 2 years? Will you have enough buffer in the bank to be able to sustain not working for a period of time? And it doesn't necessarily have to be a pandemic that has that impact. What if you broke your leg? I did that back in 2019. The systems were still in place. The processes were there that meant that money was still coming in the door because the business could still operate. And if you're running as a videographer and as a sole trader and as a small business owner, it's these things that are often overlooked, like the what ifs. What if something went wrong? Have you got that buffer there to ensure that you're going to be okay? Have you got those systems in place to ensure that the balls don't get dropped? Have you got those boundaries in place to ensure that you're not getting overwhelmed and stressed out, and that you can go and enjoy the fruits of your labor and enjoy life and time with family and friends? And I think it's all of those things combined for me that have made me go, you know what? Yeah, I want to share what I've built and how I've built it and how I've run it with the industry, with other videographers, and share that. I took my business from zero, pretty much halt at the beginning of COVID, to 7 figures in 12 months in COVID. Like, that's unheard of in our industry. To go from 0 to 7 figures in a pandemic Complete opposite to so many people around the world. It's complete opposite to almost every single person in the video industry. And so that's what makes me excited, because if I can do it during a pandemic, I sure as hell know that I can teach you how to get your business to the 6-figure mark, to the multi-6-figure mark, following the same process. So if you're listening to this and you are a videographer who goes, you know what, I would love to build a business that gives me more money and teaches me how to run the business better, and yes, I want to plan for my financial future, head over to RebeccaSaunders.com, check it out, and come and join me. It's for 6 weeks. It's 6 live coaching calls with attached video modules, tutorials, and plug-and-play systems. It's going to be the best. Equally, if you're watching this and listening and you've had your own drama with videographers in your world, in your network, or you know someone that could benefit from this program, share it with them. I would love you to share it with them. RebeccaSaunders.com has all the details. I'm super excited about this next journey. I'm super excited about sharing my knowledge with the world. And yeah, I am just so grateful that you are tuning in and watching, that you're listening, that you're supporting my video business if you're a client of mine, that you are supporting my vision as the cheer squad in my world, and that you're sharing this podcast with people that you know will have an impact on. So thank you very much for tuning in to this bonus solo episode. I really appreciate your time tuning in and listening to me.